Okay, happy Friday, everyone. It is now 1:30 and I have started the broadcast. I'm going to just really quickly check to make sure that this is going live. But if you guys see me, hear me, go ahead and leave me a message in the live chat. Ooh, I think I see it coming up. I'm going to just... Yep, there it is. Awesome. Okay, so I am live. Goody, goody gumdrops. Okay, so let me just make this so I can... default. There we go. Okay, so now I've got you guys so I can see the chat. And I'm pulling up just some little notes I took to get us started. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let me see how many people are here. What's going on here? I actually can't. Oh, I actually can't tell on this page. Okay, so yeah, there are a bunch of you here. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So welcome, everybody. If you do not know who I am, and maybe you just stumbled on this live video because I did just make it like public, so it's not like a unlisted thing that I normally do when I do live. My name is Alexis. I'm an online entrepreneur who designs and sells digital productivity tools to help you work smarter, not harder. So right now, I'm sitting out in the back patio of my house, and it's really beautiful right now. It's like 72 degrees, and I've got Mr. Starbuck, my little dog. He's not very little, but he's a Yorkie who's oversized. Do you want to come here and say hello? Do you want to come here? No, he doesn't want to. And I don't want to move the computer around too much because I legitimately, right now, this computer is like so precarious. I'm actually afraid I'm going to drop it on the concrete. It's sitting on one of my like risers, my laptop risers, and I'm like holding onto it with one hand. So this is a little bit dangerous right now. So, okay. So I know people are here. I'm assuming people can hear me. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and say hello to Marisol. She's been patiently waiting. Welcome, Marisol. Thank you so much for waiting for me. I'm flattered. Heather says she is via Heather, aka by Heather. She's developing her brand, and in the past she's been a crafter, but looking at exploring more fields like travel blogging and also book editing. Excellent. Welcome, Heather. We've got Busy Mom going crazy. She says, I see you outside. It must be a beautiful day in PA. It absolutely is. And I live outside of Philadelphia, for anyone who's asking. It is like, it's now 75. Like when I started this, it was 72 degrees outside, and that's now 75, which is why you guys may actually be seeing like a glare on my computer. I wish I had like a little umbrella to like put over where the camera is, but I think you guys are going to think this is fine. It's mostly just a really quick like impromptu chat for us to have and talk about some business essentials, because I get asked about this all the time. Like a lot of people who are starting their own business, starting entrepreneurs, they want to know like what tools they need to have and like the tools that I use. So that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. We've got M Loves McAllister. Hello, M Loves. Love you so much too. Thank you for being here, girl. And we've got Lisa from Northern Ireland. Welcome, Lisa. So what, you're like 6 hours ahead of me, so it's like maybe dinner time for you. Thank you so much. And we've got My Vintage Vanity. She's a jewelry designer. She's got an Etsy shop. Hi from Keona in South Carolina. We've got, is that another person who's, no, hi from Northern Ireland. Okay, great. Just to make sure. I'm like, is there a couple of people from Ireland here? Hello from Chicago. Someone's off the coast of Maine. I bet you that's beautiful right now. Stacy says she loves my tips. So I hope I got some good ones for you today, Stacy. Emily Baker, hello girl, how are you? Lakeside Mother, Finland, that's awesome. I've got Melinda from New York City. Neighbor, New England, Leanne. Oh, Leanne. Yeah. Yes. I know. Okay, Leanne. Leanne, you're the one who lives around me, right? And Emily's in California. We've got Ontario, Canada, St. Louis. Someone's got what I'm assuming is their chin weenie. I'm going to assume that's a dog. Maybe. I can't think of. It's a wiener dog, probably. What's the CHI? I can't think of what the CHI would be. Hi from New Jersey. Hello, Isabella. We've got Pooja from San Francisco. We've got Vanessa in the UK. She's living in London. Ina. Oh, hey, Ina, how are you? She's in the Netherlands. My girl Ina, I know her. Someone's checking in from Indiana. Hello from Phoenix. El Paso, Sarah, Irvine. Okay, you guys, this is just coming in. East of Atlanta. I love Atlanta. Chesapeake, Virginia. I love Chesapeake. I used to live in Fairfax and Winchester and Harrisonburg because I went to school at JMU. Hello from Wisconsin, Belgium, San Diego. What do you mean it's only 59 in San Diego? How is it hotter here than it is in California? Okay, let's see. Stacy. Okay, you guys, this is what we're going to do. There's a lot of people here, and it sounds like there's more and more people just kind of flooding in as we go, so I don't want to spend like 20 minutes saying hello, although I would love to. But what I would say is that as I get started with this and kind of just give you guys these tools, this is my idea for this, right? So this is like very off the cuff right now. My idea is that I made a list of the essential business tools that I use, and I'll go through them and talk about them with you guys, and then we'll take some Q&A if you guys have anything specific that you would like a recommendation on or want to know my opinion on. And then I will talk to you guys about some really fun updates with Empire Building. If you guys did not see that Empire Building has relaunched, I do have my new website up and running, and I made some like amazing progress with the website this morning that actually means that I'm going to be able to change my offer and make it a little bit better for people who are signing up. So I am going to just jump right in right now, right? And while I'm talking, you guys, feel free to chat in the comments. I would love to see you guys swap handles and, maybe find like a business bestie here in the community, because there's a lot of you on right now. And yeah, like you guys could find your new business bestie, someone to like throw some ideas off of in the comment section. So definitely interact. Don't be afraid to interact. And keep in mind, though, that after this is gone live, the comments are going to go away. So if you see someone's handle, I would like take screenshots or something if you want to connect, because once I stop this broadcast, it's not like when I do my webinars and I put like, I put it on a different watch page, it kind of stinks. So make sure if you're connecting, take screenshots and things like that. And right now, you know what you should do? Everyone right now who's here should pull out their iPhone or your smartphone or whatever, go to Instagram, pull me up at MissTrenchcoat. And I just posted a picture of my coffee on Instagram because I was just sitting out here having like a beautiful afternoon. And let me know your handles, like just leave me like a message, a comment on that, like that picture, leave me a message, and just let me know, let me know about your business. Like tell me about your business, and that'll be a good way for us afterwards to connect if, because the chat goes away, right? So here's the picture. There it is, okay? So go to MissTrenchcoat and follow me if you're not following me, and leave a comment. Okay, cool. So other thing I just want to say really quickly is because I'm outside, it is a teeny bit windy. I also live near a main road that I swear to heavens is not a highway, but it sounds like a highway. Like you'd think that there are trucks driving down this road right now. So it is a little bit loud. Also, I'm outside and my house backs up to, I don't know, I call it like a ravine. There's like a drop off, and then there's like a trail, and then there's houses on the other side, and everybody has like fenced in backyards. But earlier, before I started the stream, there were children outside playing, like, as I can see, like swing sets and stuff, like, you can see them in the neighbor's yard because the fences aren't that high. So there were some children out. So if like you hear screaming or stuff, and I can't stop Mr. Starbuck from barking, but he's kind of chilling here. I wish you guys could see him. He's just kind of like, he's like on his back right now, like looking at me like, oh, hey mom, you talking about me? Okay, so those are my disclaimers. Let's get started talking about my essential business tools for online entrepreneurs, shall we? Okay, let's get this going. Okay, so this is a frequent question that I get asked a lot, is like the tools that I would recommend, the tools that I use. To be completely honest with you guys, I think that a lot of people get really tripped up when they start their own business, they want, or even just as a side hustle. I think people get really tripped up about like feeling like they need to have the right tools. I don't think there are any right tools. In fact, I really do believe that like you can start with whatever you've got right now and just make things work. So, with that in mind, right? Obviously, if you're going to be an online entrepreneur, you're going to need a computer of some sort. I have always been a laptop user, so that's what I'm using. Right now, I'm using a MacBook Air. It's an 11-inch MacBook Air. It is literally nothing special. I bought it in 2013 or 2012. It's really old. Like, I don't know. I think it's old. It's like 4 years old. So I can't do the math right now in my head, but yeah, it's like 3.5 to 4 years old, I think. And it's still a trooper. It's still a trooper. It's still working. And this is like the main computer I've been using for like the last 3.5 to 4 years, however long I've had it. So a lot of people say like, oh, you know, a laptop, oh, a MacBook Air is not a good computer to use for like a business. I'm like, well, it depends what your business is. Like, obviously, if you're like coding programs and like doing something really high tech, you probably need a little bit more of a processor speed. But I'm telling you guys, my MacBook Air does everything I needed to do. So the only thing that's sad about MacBook Airs is like Apple is like discontinuing them or something. I don't know. But that's why I'm like holding on to this as long as possible. I'm trying to take care of it because I love this little guy and I love how small and portable it is. And just for me, someone who can like hashtag work from anywhere, right? I like having a laptop. Like the laptop lifestyle works for me. But obviously any computer that you can get your hands on or that you have access to is awesome. You know, I do know people who use like tablets and things like that. I would say that depending on what your business is, I guess you could get away with a tablet, but there are definitely things that I do on my laptop that like I need the laptop for. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. Like nothing, literally nothing special with this computer. It's like isn't souped up in any amazing way. I just bought like the highest end model, and I always tend to do that with Apple computers because I want to make sure I max out like RAM and hard drive and things like that, just so it lasts me as long as possible. Because I do run a lot of like intense-ish programs, and I'll talk about those in a second, okay? So that's my first essential. Now, my second essential for an online entrepreneur would be a camera, okay? So I would say that a DSLR camera is the best thing you can get, right? Because if you are taking photos, if you're doing video, you're going to get the best quality possible, and you're going to be able to have a lot of control over the way that your images turn out. Now, whether or not you're someone who does a lot of visual stuff, right? I do think that online entrepreneurs need to have a camera of some sort because this is social media, right? Like we need to make sure that we're able to capture images, create branded pictures, things like that, do video, right? Video is such a big thing right now that if you're not doing video, right? If you don't have like even just like a point and shoot camera that does HD video, it is something that you're missing out on. So I personally right now, I actually have 3 DSLRs. I need to get rid of one. Right now I'm using an 80D, so a Canon 80D. I love that. It's my favorite camera. It's got Wi-Fi. I absolutely love it. And for photography, I generally will use my 50mm lens, the Nifty 50, from Canon, of course, because it goes with my camera. And it is a 50mm 1.8. So it's not even the best 50mm you can have. It's literally a $100 lens. $100 lens, okay? So nothing insane. And that's for photography. And then for my filming and then some photography as well, I use like a more wide angle lens, which is a 24mm 2.8. It's an f2.8. So that one was $125 too. So like my lenses aren't even super expensive that I use. So if you think about that and you're like looking at some of my pictures and being like, Alexis takes great photographs. Number one, it's because I use a DSLR, so off the bat, I'm going to have better pictures. And because I can swap out my lenses, I can get real control over it. But really nothing special with my lenses. I don't have like any crazy expensive lenses. Although there is this one that I kind of want that's $800. I haven't like ever, I actually haven't like obviously bought it yet. But it's not the $800 that really is like worrying me about buying it. It's more that like I'm like, another lens. Like, I just feel like I have so many lenses. I'm like, do I need to manage another lens in my life? Anyway, so if you're someone who cannot afford a DSLR camera, I will tell you that when I started YouTube, I was legitimately using a Canon PowerShot that had 720 video in it or something like that. Literally a little handheld point and shoot camera. Back in 2012, I think, I was using like a handy cam. It's my Canon Vixia handy cam, which I still have and I still use it to vlog. So old. I think I got it in 2012 or 2013. So nothing incredibly special there either. And I used that PowerShot to like take pictures for the most part for a long time until 2014. And that's when I got my first DSLR. So I really think that you guys can use like whatever camera, whatever the best camera you can get your hands on is awesome. Even if that means it's like your iPhone, right? Like a smartphone. A lot of these, like the newer smartphones, I will say maybe from like iPhone 5 up, are so good. Like I really think the camera quality is really good. And I think that if this is the best you can do for now, use what you've got. Like you don't need to run out and buy like the most expensive camera, the most expensive lenses. Honestly, I really think that it comes down to skill more so than what your tools are. Like wonderful tools in the hands of someone who does not know how to use them are useless. And even like really shitty tools in the hands of a pro, the pro is going to know what to do. So I think it's better to develop your skills, use what you've got, you know, what you have access to, develop your skills, and organically just start adding to your tools and like upgrading your tools as necessary, right? So that's my recommendation for things like that. Okay, so that is the camera I use. Okay, now let's talk about software on the computer, okay? Obviously, what software you use for your day-to-day business is going to be highly dependent on like what it is that your business does, like what your major business function is. So this is the stuff that I use, okay? So I use Adobe Creative Suite, right? So I use Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop to, you know, fix up my images, add text to images, manipulate graphics, things like that. I use Adobe InDesign to make my inserts and any of my books and things like that. Like if I'm doing like workbooks and things like that, those are done in Adobe InDesign. And I use Adobe Illustrator to make my like illustrations. Like if I'm doing, you know, like sticker sets or anything where I'm creating like a vector image, like original, like little illustrations, I do that in Illustrator. So that's like honestly like a majority of my business tools. Adobe Creative Suite is, the great thing about it is that it's actually really accessible now because you can buy it and get it, do like a monthly, it's like a monthly charge, and they give you the Creative Suite, the cloud one, so that you always get all of the updates. I'm still using CS6 from, like I've had CS6 for a while. It's Adobe Creative Suite 6, which was like the last time that they actually like gave discs. So you download them onto your computer sort of a thing. Now they do the cloud-based everything with the, it's like a subscription. So I'm just going to really quickly, just want to double check that everyone's still hearing me and everything. I just like to check in. Okay. It doesn't look like anyone's saying anything about not being able to see or hear me. So I'm going to go with all is well, I will continue. Okay, so that is what I use for the most of my businessy sort of things that I create, right? Now, I do not use any sort of special accounting software or anything like that. I've heard things like QuickBooks are good, but I use plain spreadsheets. I use the ones from that are built into my Mac. So what is it called? Numbers, the Apple Numbers program. I just happen to be a spreadsheet whiz because I worked in business for like over 5 years, and I did a lot of reporting and a lot of manipulating, and anybody in the chat who has to deal with pivot tables, you know what you're talking about with spreadsheets. So that's something that I'm really good at. So I've always been someone who's been able to do my own finances, like accounting, very well. So I don't use anything special on that end. I do use a program that I've talked about many times before called Scrivener. It's spelled Scrivener. And it's a program that organizes your writing. So I use that for everything that I write. So my blog posts are written out in Scrivener, my YouTube like outlines, or if I do a script, all in Scrivener, my emails, all in Scrivener, my products, any products or books or anything that I create, it's all written out in Scrivener. And then I take it and reformat it in like Adobe InDesign. So I do all of my writing in Scrivener. I absolutely love it. It's an amazing app. If you're a student right now, I highly recommend it, because if you're someone who has to write a lot, see, what was that? It's like a motorcycle going by. If you're like a student, it's really great for organizing research, papers, everything. I just love it. So that is what I use for blogging and all of the things that I write. For YouTube, to edit my videos, I use Final Cut Pro 10. I used to use the Apple iMovie. And Final Cut Pro 10, if you use iMovie, is very similar. It's like the step up. And I think, yeah, Apple makes Final Cut Pro 10. It's just like a step up. And it does like more pro sort of like rendering, and it just has better options, right? So if you're someone who uses iMovie and wants to like up your editing game, you could switch to Final Cut Pro, and there's just a tiny learning curve, right? Because if you've been using iMovie, you're pretty familiar with things. Another software I use that it really isn't on my computer, but it kind of is Dropbox. I have a pro account with them, so I don't know. I've got like unlimited, I don't even know what the storage is, like 1 terabyte of storage in the cloud, which is great because I often have to transfer files and things like that. And when I'm working with my VA, like we've got like a shared folder. If I'm working with any clients, you know, shared folders are awesome to have everything up there in the cloud. And generally speaking, if there's something important that I'm working on, I just like to throw it into Dropbox just to have it be safe, just in case, you know what I mean? So I love Dropbox. I also use for my social media scheduling a program called Meet Edgar. And that is a program that kind of does like recycling of your social media posts, and it helps you to like schedule content out. But I also use a social media scheduler that's built into the back end of my site that must be like, I think it's probably called Jetpack, like social media stuff. It's like a free plugin for my website, and it like pushes out my blog posts to Facebook and Twitter and things like that. So I use just that sort of built-in stuff. In terms of doing my work and like one-on-ones and things like that, I use Skype for video, you know, anything I have to do, video meetings and things like that. So virtual coffee dates with like my fellow entrepreneurs, I'm on Skype for those. And if I'm doing like a call with a client, I'm on Skype. For my business, I actually use a free Google Voice account. So I have a business phone number and I don't have to pay for it. And essentially like that's like a number that I can give to people and they can call me, and it forwards to my regular phone number, which is great because I can screen my calls. So like, because people have to like, when they call, they have to say who they are. So obviously I don't have to like worry about like answering phone calls that are like not legit or something like that, and not have to like distribute my private information, right? And I don't, obviously, you know, because I work from home, but because I'm a digital entrepreneur, I can work from anywhere. I don't need like a landline in my house. So that Google Voice is really awesome. I love that. Yeah, so I think that's it for software on my computer. Okay. I also, obviously, important tool is my iPhone. You know, I use this obviously for social media, to work on the go. I obviously use it for photography as well. And for photography related apps that I love, because one of the great things about my DSLR, like I said, my 80D, is that it's wireless and it connects to my iPhone. And I can transfer pictures from my DSLR like really quickly to my iPhone and just post them to like Instagram or social media like seamlessly. And sometimes, and actually most of the time, I don't even bother with Photoshop unless I'm doing something very specific for like marketing and like business assets. Usually I will just use tools like apps on my phone. So the tools that I use on my phone that I absolutely love are Afterlight, Facetune, PicFrame, and Union. And I've got like 1,000 different like photo tools, but those are really the 4 that I use. So those are great apps if you're not using them, if you need to like you know, and I don't know about how many of them have an Android equivalent or Windows equivalent, because I use iPhone. So I'm sorry about that, but you can look them up and find out. You know, it shouldn't be that difficult to find them. Yeah, okay, so next, my website, because a lot of people want to know about my website. So my website is something that I built myself. I did not work with a designer. I wouldn't say that I'm like a pro at coding or anything like that. I know a little bit of HTML, but it's a self-hosted WordPress website, as in wordpress.org, not to be confused with wordpress.com. And I use a theme from a company called Blue Chic. And if you guys are interested in Blue Chic, I actually am an affiliate for them. So if you like my my blog template or whatever that I use, my theme on my blog, if you actually go to my blog, which is www.strangecharmed.com, there should be a link in the description box. If you go over there, there's actually a sidebar ad for Blue Chic. If you click through that, I get credit. That's it. Like, I just get a commission for referring people, but I love them. I actually use them for my blog theme, and I use them for my empire building, the course. I actually just bought a new theme for the course that I was like, you know what? I need to find a new theme. Let's look at the Blue Chic options. And I found the perfect one. I'm like, this is the empire building chic, like so chic, like theme. You know what I mean? So that is, you know, where I get my themes from. The one that's on my shop is different. I think it came from a place called Theme Forest, and I have no clue like what it's called or who the developer is. I guess I could like look it up, but it's a e-commerce, like a WooCommerce theme. So it's different. There are some WooCommerce themes, I want to say, in Blue Chic, but they weren't what I wanted. There was a specific look I was looking for. And actually, you know what? When I bought that theme, I don't think they were doing WooCommerce at the time. I think they do it now. But there was a specific look I was looking for. And that's what I did. I just like went through this like Theme Forest website and looked through all of these themes and found one that I wanted and chose it and installed it. So on the website as well, my hosting company is Bluehost. I know there's other ones like HostGator, and there's probably like a million of them. You know, I have like I'm gonna say I have a love-hate relationship with Bluehost. We're in love right now, okay? In the beginning, there was nothing wrong when I just had a blog, but we had some, if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that during some of my launches or anytime like I put out like, I don't know, something like cool, like a cool freebie or something like that, like my site would crash because too many people would go to the site and they would just like throttle me. And for the longest time, we were trying to figure out what was wrong. And basically what ended up happening is I ended up upgrading to a business cloud server that they have. So that seemed to have fixed most of the problems. And then I needed to do some work on my end to fix some of the problems. But yeah, it's a decent service. What I like about them is even though stuff goes down, I can contact them, right? So like, I guess that's the most important thing, right? Is feeling like you're getting good support. Do they always know what's going on? Not necessarily, but they're really helpful. And, you know, I've had guys, like, I've been on the phone with like people like trying to figure out what's going on, and they'll go and they'll look at stuff, and, you know, they'll look at the back end of my site and they'll be like, you know what, maybe you should work on this or whatnot. And, you know, that's all just part of the service. Now, to be honest, my business cloud server that I'm on it's more expensive than like your normal one would be. I forget how much it is. It's probably like a few $100s a year. Like maybe it was $600 a year. I don't remember, something like that. But for me, running my business, that's nothing, right? Like that's nothing for like a year for me to have my shop and my site and all these things working very well and getting like the proper allocation of my server. That's where it's at. So I realize that's kind of a little bit like in-depth stuff I'm talking about now, but that's what I use, just in case you were wondering. And then I guess the last thing that I've got to talk about is my email marketing service. I use MailChimp and I absolutely love it. MailChimp is free if you sign up for like the first 2,000 people on your list. Obviously I pay for my service now because I have more than that. And I think it cost me a few hundred too. I can't remember exactly. Somewhere between, I think it's like $150 or $175, something like that. No, this is my full-time job, and being able to have a tool like MailChimp that I think is very reliable. I've never had any issues with them. Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, and at Christmas time, they sent me a Christmas gift. It was kind of cool. It was actually really nice of them. I really was like really impressed. They sent like me an email, and it was like you could pick, it's like a little, I have it inside my house in my office, but it's like a little toy monkey, because MailChimp, their logo is a monkey. So it's a little toy monkey, and they had different choices. Like I could pick different colors, and I picked like a completely see-through one. Like kind of like not lucite, but it's like plastic. So yeah. Anyway, things like that impressed me, with like when companies go a little bit above and beyond and send you a Christmas present for free. Like obviously like I pay for their service, but that was really nice of them. You know, it wasn't cheap for them to do that. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't like hundreds of dollars for one person's gift, but you know, I thought it was a very nice touch. So yeah, I think that's it for like what my tools are. So now I'm going to go ahead and jump into the chat. And you guys can ask me questions now, okay? So you guys have been chatting away. If you asked a question, please ask it again, because I was not paying attention, and it is a pain in the butt to kind of scroll back if I have to go through, because people are still commenting. So I'm still here, right, though? Just checking. Just checking. Yes, I am. Still here. Starbuck is inspecting the perimeter. He just like walks around, checks things. Okay, let me see what we got here. Okay, someone said, can you repeat the iPhone apps? It was Afterlight, Facetune, Union, and PicFrame. Laura says she started using Afterlight because I mentioned in the video. You love it, so helpful. Yeah, let me tell you guys, I've used a lot of apps. Like I am not someone who's afraid to buy an app. So I've used a lot of photography apps, and I think that Afterlight is like the best one. Someone said, what is the best website developer for new entrepreneurs? Please specify what you mean by website developer. A person developer? I did not work with a developer. I built my own site. Okay, Bonnie, I just did it. So can someone just type in for Bonnie what those were, because I just answered them again. Yeah, let's see. Anyone else have any questions? Anything specifically that you guys want to know about that I didn't mention? Okay, Busy Mom Going Crazy says that she knows that I'm an Apple gal, absolutely am, and she's looking to possibly switch to an iPhone 7 Plus next week. Congrats. What are the advantages of having an iPhone and other Apple products, or even Android phones? Okay, so I don't know what phone you're currently using. I think the advantage to iPhone is that there's so many apps. And they're not like crappy apps most of the time. They're really well done, because Apple does a really good job of vetting the apps that go through. So, you know, iPhone is like the #1 phone. So you're going to get all of the options on iPhone, you know? So that's what I think is great. I also think that despite all of whatever issues Apple has with maybe like an individual product or launch, that overall their products are much better, much higher quality. Yes, you generally pay more, but I'd rather just have the thing that works than the thing that I have to like go out of my way to like learn how to use. And, you know, it's just some things I feel like, some computers, some phones and stuff, it's just a pain in the butt. Like it's just more complicated than it needs to be. And actually, on that similar topic, I want to tell you guys too, like I said, I use a Canon 80D for my photography. I've used Canons forever. Now, a lot of people ask me Canon versus Nikon. Look, I have nothing against Nikon cameras at all. They're amazing pieces of machinery. They are, you know, just as high quality, I would say, as Canons, right? And generally speaking, there's like a 1-to-1 equivalent between models between Canon and Nikon. So it's not like there's like nothing wrong with Nikon that makes me like think that like Canon's better. But what I will say is that Nikons tend to have, it's really funny. This was the best thing I'd ever heard when someone who was like a professional photographer explained what the difference was between Canon and Nikon, was that Canon's software is like using an iPhone. It's so intuitive. Like, it's not hard to find options and do settings inside of your Canon, whereas Nikons, they're so flippin' complicated. Like, you know, it's like PCs. Like, I feel like a lot of times PCs, and like nowadays I think it's different, but like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like I started using laptops when I was 12 or 13. I got my first laptop, which is ages ago. And it's like people who were PC people, it was like they were proud of the fact that like you had to be really intelligent and well-versed in PC in order to use it. And then once I switched to Mac, it was like everything was easy. I'm like, everything makes sense and it's easy. I'm like, why isn't this the way everything works? So that's the difference between Canon and Nikon if you're worried. There's no quality difference, I don't think. Sometimes Nikons, I think, sometimes have like a hue of a more vivid color in their images, the way they process them. But that sort of stuff you can change in post, you know, if you needed to anyway. But yeah, it's just ease of use for me. I don't want something that's going to be really complicated to use. Okay. Does the Toshiba, I guess you're saying the flash air memory card come in different sizes? Yes, it does. I forget all the sizes it comes in. It's probably like 8, 12, 8, 16, 32, something like that. Yeah. Tips on finding a business bestie. Same niche, blogger versus vlogger. That's an interesting question. I would just say network with people and be open-minded, and you never know who you're going to find, right? It's like falling in love, right? You never know who you're going to fall in love with. I do think that when it comes to business besties, if you are in the same niche, if you're someone that's doing a lot of the similar things, I do think it's important to establish some sort of like boundaries to make sure you're not up each other's butts and like, I don't know. I think sometimes, and this is just completely natural, that people who hang out together, you know what they say, you guys have probably heard this, that you are an amalgamation of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So it's very natural when people become friends in real life and, you know, in real life, but like friends, like just like day-to-day friends and like business besties, for people to start taking on, you know, just similarities. So I think it's really important, just so that you are distinguishing your brand, to make sure you establish some form of boundaries for just like, you know, protecting your own brand, making sure that you're always being unique. But yeah, other than that, find any business bestie. Like anyone would be fine. And find like 12. Like the more the merrier. Hurry Up and Plan asks, if you plan to use YouTube as a platform to help your business, what would you say is the most important thing to do for YouTube? Use it consistently. That's all the platforms. Use them consistently. Oh, the thing that I wanted to mention. Remember I was talking about the Empire Building? Okay, upgrade. If you guys did not know about Empire Building's upgrade, it's now the digital site. And like I said, I'm building out this site right now. It's almost done. I'm really excited. It launches on the 8th. And until the 8th, so through the 7th of March, I have a promotion running on the new Empire Building. So if you're interested in joining Empire Building, which is my online business program, go into the description box of this video, and I would say sign up to get the access to my free webinar, which is Entrepreneurship is the New Black. Yes, it's a public video right now, but you guys, when you sign up, you're going to get the workbook. You're going to be able to move on over to the private watch page and have like additional Q&A. And there's other bonuses and things that are going to come to people who sign up for that email list, including like I sent out an email right before I went on to this video. There are going to be some other live events that I'm going to host through that time period of what I'm calling this like upgrade launch. Now, if you know that you're someone who's been waiting for Empire Building and you want to work with me, like you want me to mentor you one-on-one, definitely click the second link, which is sign up for the upgraded empire building, and you can choose either the blueprint path or the architect path. Both of the paths give you the exact same access to the exact same information. Blueprint path is the you do it yourself. And you get, you go through the workbooks and now the new videos, because that's the upgrade to empire building, is it's all being moved to video as well. You still get the workbooks, but there's video modules now, which is really helpful, and the dedicated course site with extra resources, because I'm throwing all the resources in there. It's just going to become like a hub for information and business building. So Blueprint Path is where you do it yourself, go at your own pace, all that stuff. And then Architect Path is when you get one-on-ones with me. So Architect Path, you're going to be paying a little bit more, and you're going to get 2 one-on-ones with me. One 60-minute quick start call and one 90-minute business planning session with me. So if you are someone who's like really serious about starting their business, and you're the type of person who, yes, information is great, but talking to someone who's experienced and actually like getting my feedback, and I actually help you make your plan. If that's something you need, sign up for Architect Path, right? But you can always upgrade. So if you want to start with Blueprint and then decide later you want to upgrade to Architect, you absolutely can. I don't penalize. I just make you pay the difference to the current price. So right now, Empire Building is $200 off for both of the programs. So that's why this promotion is going on until the 7th at midnight Eastern. They're $200 off, and then the program goes back to $200 more. It goes back to full price until the next time I run a sale on it, which will not be for several months, right? Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Oh my goodness, my Apple Watch, I must have hit a button and it just recorded everything I just said. Just saw like text of what I was just saying popping up on my phone, on my watch, sorry. So yeah, that's what's going on with Empire Building. The sale runs through the 7th. If you want additional information, I just sign up at that first link to get info on, just additional bonuses and things like that. And there's going to be lots of different events that I'm going to be doing, over this next couple of weeks while this is launching. So, okay, that is the update to I didn't tell you the other thing about Empire Building. Oh, this is great. Okay, Empire Building also has a payment plan. Okay. In order to get to the payment plan, you have to actually go to that first link and go to the watch page, and you will see at the bottom of that page, there is a link to do a payment plan. This is the exciting thing that happened today. So while I was building my website, because, like I said, I'm not like a pro developer, so I learn as I go a lot of times. I am going to be able to give you guys access to the videos as you pay as you go. So what's going to happen is you're going to get it's a 3-payment plan, $100 for each payment. And each payment, you're going to get access to 2 of the modules. It's like completely 2 of the modules, all the resources that go along with it. So because there's 6 modules in the program total. There used to be 5, but I added a 6th module, which is all about business administration. So I'm really excited about this update, because it means that anyone who does sign up for the payment plan, you are going to get trickled out that all the content. I don't have to like severely limit you, which makes me so happy. It's easier for me. It's easier for you. Like, you're able to make the most of the program. So yeah. Oh, someone wants to go in the house. Bubba, come here. Sit with mommy. What is this? You gonna come sit with me? Oh, here he comes. He's like, what? What is what? Here, sit with mommy. Just sit and be a good boy. Okay, I'm almost done. So yeah, that's the exciting update I came to today. So yes, if you're someone you're looking at the price of Empire Building and it's outside of your budget right now, but you'd want to do the payment plan, go ahead and sign up for the payment plan. You've got to go through that link and use the watch page to access the payment plan, or just shoot me an email, alexis@strangecharm.com, and I'll get you situated. But you're going to want to get on the list to hear about the other events and the other bonuses and stuff. Okay. Someone said, any recommendations for learning to use Adobe InDesign YouTube tutorials? Yeah, sure. Google YouTube tutorials. Definitely. I mean, I've been using it for a long time. So it's really hard for me to say. I mean, when I started using it though, I literally just started messing around with things and Googling. That was really all I did. Laura says that she has a Nikon and it's so darn hard. Yeah, it's just weird, like the way the software is different. Leanne said she switched to a Mac and she's lost. She can't find anything. Leanne, go to the Apple store and have them walk you through it. I realize that if you've been a PC user forever, it feels like it's harder because it's a change, but it really isn't. Someone said they rented one of the newer Sony cameras, loved it. Now I don't know which to get, Sony or Canon. Is it a DSLR? Or is it like a point and shoot? Honestly, I would just look up reviews and see what people say online about whatever the two that you're between is, and just choose, whichever one fits, fits your style, fits your budget, and you feel like you can use it. I don't think it really matters. Like I said, all of these high-end cameras, they're all very similar. Like, you're not going to get something in one that's going to be life-changing to the fact that, like, oh, I should have bought this other one. You know what I mean? Let's see, just lost where I was going here because I had to scroll up. Someone says, I'm an aspiring interior designer and would like to incorporate my keen eye for qualities, such as vendors to purchase decor and furniture. How would you start reaching out to those fields of expertise? So you're saying that you want to network with different vendors? I would research who the vendors are that you want to reach out to and send them an email, message them, talk to them on social media, develop a relationship, just like you would do with any other networking. I think that a lot of times if you're just like kind of like subscribe to people or you're following people or you send an email, a lot of times, as long as you're not asking for like anything too complicated, people are usually willing to chat. Someone said, what camera am I using now to do the live video? The camera on my MacBook Air. Okay, I think I'm at the bottom. Awesome. Okay, you guys, so I hope this was helpful. Did you guys enjoy this? There's still a bunch of you on here. I'll take this until, just give me a few more minutes if you guys have any other questions. Hi, Kate from Russia. She says, I'm giving out so many positive vibes. Thank you. I'm sending you guys all positive vibes right now, positive Friday vibes, as I sit out on my patio next to what sounds like a humongous, like, I don't know, motorway, but it's just a road. Oh, it's so crazy. I hope it hasn't been too distracting. Okay, you guys, so it sounds like everybody has got their questions answered. And I know I saw you guys interacting before. Hopefully you guys put some messages on that Instagram picture so that people can maybe like follow up with people that way as well. So it's kind of like a permanent place that you left your info. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, please make sure to email me. I would highly recommend signing up for Entrepreneurship is the New Black and getting that workbook and all the additional info and bonuses and stuff that are going to come through there. If you are interested in signing up for empire building, definitely let me know. And if you're someone who's thinking about it and is not sure, like you're on the fence, you're not sure if it's going to help your business, please send me an email because I've opened up some slots for like one-on-one chats so we could have like a Skype chat over the next week or so before the program promo date closes. And we can talk one-on-one about whether or not empire building is right for you and if you want to work with me and, what you might get out of the program. So I'm doing that. I never do anything like this, but I just thought, you know what? I wanted to make sure that everyone was getting acclimated to the new empire building. So if you guys want to chat with me on it, want to, figure out if it's worth it for you, if the investment is going to pay off for you, definitely shoot me an email, alexis@strangecharmed.com, and I will schedule a chat with you. Okay, you guys. So I'm glad you guys thought this was very informative. Please, before you go, give this video a thumbs up. And yeah, if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, please hit subscribe for more awesome videos by me. And until next time, you guys, bye-bye. Say bye-bye, bye-bye. Are you going to come say goodbye? Say, yes, I will say goodbye. Stork says, bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye, you guys.